Hello, this is the Knots That Bind Us, and I'll be talking about survival and isolation tips. I'm not getting into it right now, but I was locked away in a house for longer than 6 years to 8 years. And these are my tips for going through that situation for someone else. So people can know what I was doing in that time and what I learned, what I was doing when I've gotten older. Number one, no longer survive in the thought of time. The only concept of time that matters, the only concept of time that matters is a space you are in. Slave to work. So that basically means that your structure of time as a person built up by clocks no longer matters. So when I was going through that, I no longer thought in months or years. I only thought of days of the weeks and hours and days. So instead of me thinking July, August, September, it was more like week one. But I only had started incorporating weeks when I went to school. So the very beginning, it was just days of the week. I need to remember the times my family came home. I need to know the times of shows coming on TV, which is something I touch on later. So my concept of time was just days and hours. Then when I got more exposed to people again, it was days of the week with hours, but still months were very fuzzy. I didn't get the concept of months for a long time. I feel like I'll never actually have a proper concept of time now because of the deep isolation I was in. And that's one of the things you have to let go of first. Let go of your concept of time. It has to now be built in the new structure that you're living in. Number two, find hobbies that you can drop quickly, and doing so does not affect the task. Danger, emergency, or you are called to do something. This will be your only escape / mentally one of your only available coping skills. For me, my hobbies were watching my phone. But when I was watching my phone, I was watching informational content about psychology, the BDSM scene, things like that. I was actually filling my time with knowledge instead of brain rot, or just actually complex things. Like I'll listen to hour-long podcasts constantly. I'll watch hours-long deconstruction videos and like all that stuff. And that was my hobby, and it's something I could drop at a dime. My family's calling for me, something's happened, there's glass broken, clean dishes. You just pause it and you go and do the task, and then you go back into your space, or at least your kind of sliver of space, which we get into further. But thinking of it in a jail setting, if something were to happen in an instant, you have to drop it. But then for your coping skill, you can pick it back up. Like mine was art. I was drawing art for self-expression because of all the stuff that was going on in my head. And I needed something. I just needed something. And art I could drop if I need to still be there. Ugh. Those were very dark times. I'm kind of thinking about it. Hours I'd be up in the middle of the night, drawing, listening to music, and channeling. It's only thing that made me happy. That wasn't also destructive. So yeah, you have to get a hobby that can help you cope. Something that's gonna be there. Might not be guaranteed someone could steal it, but you know what I mean. A hobby that could be replaceable, like drawing. You just need you don't even need a pencil or a paper. You can get a rock and stone and start trying to carve into it for as long as you need, because time doesn't exist anymore. Let's go on to number 3. Forget your body, forget your face, forget everything, forget anything. But not to be sad, to be numb. Not that you don't have to remember your life before, but it's a grieving process. if you're going to be in that situation for a very long time like I was. I went through so many different emotions, and if it would have ended quicker, I wouldn't be able to talk about it because I wouldn't have seen it through. To know that at one point you're going to want to be fully numbed. Not even think of the past as being happy either. Just feel numb about it till you can possibly escape. Wherever you'll be, whoever sees this and this happens, I hope my voice rings in your ears so you can remember what I'm saying. But also remember that if you do get out of wherever it is, or even if you don't and you start feeling waves of emotion, as long as you can have discipline enough not to act in a way that you don't want to in that moment, you have to have full control over your mind. Because your body is now someone else's property. And yes, I am talking about that. Our bodies are not our property. Our mind is. That's the only thing someone cannot take away from you is your internal mind. The only thing. Your body can be owned by somebody else. The clothes on your back are clothes on your back. They're not in your back. They're not attached to your back. You don't own them. You don't own anything. It's another thing. The reason why I know what I've gone through is so awful because I've talked to people who were inmates in jails, and they've told me everything I talk about is exactly what they went through, and makes me feel sick. But forget your face, because your face isn't you. Your face is what other people see. But when you no longer need to worry about your face or your appearance, because you don't have to keep it up for anyone, that means it no longer exists in your wave of consciousness. Don't even look at mirrors, because that's seeing yourself as a third person. You need to stay first person. Don't even be second person. You gotta stay first person at all times. Focus on only yourself, because that's the only person that'll keep you safe. But your body, how your body looks to other people, you can never see your body through someone else's eyes. It's no longer necessary. Number 4, you have to become a liar. But never forget that it's truly a lie. Having to please captors, abusers, and having to lie to them, try and make sure you don't get hurt or people around you don't get hurt. But there's a point in time where you forget that it is a lie, and then that brings up a whole wave of stuff that I've gone through. And it's like, I was just trying to avoid, because I was trying to avoid stuff going on in my head, but then it just came back onto me in a different way. It made the other issues worse. I won't talk about it right now. But if you're in these kind of situations where you're isolated and trapped like this, you have someone forcing you there if you're in your own little room. If this is also if someone was asking you questions or you had to do things like that, that's when you have to lie. But you have to remember that it is a lie in your mind. You have to keep it private though. Your mind's private. The only safe place is your mind. You have to make your mind a safe place. You can't, because everything around you, you absorb into yourself. Like, all us humans, we're sponges to anything around us. But you have the consciousness to filter out. And you filter out what you do not want to think about. You have that power. You have full power over that. You just have to exert it. And the more you exert that power over your mind, the more you master your mind. So then you can have true inner peace. No other peace matters than your true inner peace. Most people don't even have inner peace. Most people are lying to you all the time. All they do is lie to you. You'll never know if someone's telling you the truth, period, because you're not in their mind. So don't even worry about that. Worry about your own inner peace and what will bring you inner peace. Because it doesn't matter anything else. I have my own moral standing, which means that I will not do things immorally, because that will then make me not have inner peace. That's the thing. My inner peace comes from my morals. Let's continue. 5. You are now your best friend. You are now your only best friend. You are your best friend. You're going to be sitting and thinking all the time. Because there's going to be not much activity to do. You'll be constantly thinking. That's why mine is so intense, because this happened to me when I was about 10 years old to 18. So my mind is just shaped different to where I'm constantly thinking because my brain just had too much time to think. But people who haven't gone through that as children, you're gonna be having a lot of thoughts, and the voice in your own mind is gonna get heavier and deeper and deeper. And you can't be afraid of it. You feel afraid of a thought coming through your mind. You have to conquer it. You have to say, that doesn't control me. I don't invite that into my consciousness. Think through why you're getting triggered. Then silence it and try and help it. Be like, that's not real. That's not what's going on right now. Relax. Reassure yourself. You read those. Yeah. Like, basically, like, think of yourself as another person. Because, like, I've been in isolation for so long that I don't even think of, like, I forget how to communicate this to people who haven't gone through this. For someone who hasn't gone through this, you have to talk to yourself like your best friend. Unconditionally caring, unconditionally loving, but only assertive and angry when you are truly fucking up and you know it, because it's going against your inner peace. So yeah, really just lean into your inner peace. The only peace that you'll have now is your inner peace. Then the last one, which is 6. You are only your mind, nothing else. So another thing is that you have to let go of your physical attachments. I talked to my friend about this, how all of your external things are just an extension of what's inside of you already. So when all those external things are gone, what was still inside you that made you project it onto the object and extend yourself into the object has not left, because it comes from you first. You have to let go of the clothes on your back, the shoes. You have to let go of the things that you own, the people that you love, the things that you've lost, the things you could gain in the future. You have to let that go. Kind of like, because you don't know what the future is going to hold now. Like, when you go through this deep isolation, I mean deep, I'm not going to go into specifics. You go into deep isolation like this, and you're forced into it. Most people are forced into it, somehow way. You are going to be stripped down as a person. You don't even own your body anymore. And when you realize that, that's when you're really free. Because all these external things that are trying to encage you can never trap your mind. That's what people in jail say. They can never take my mind, which is true. It's true, they can never take your mind. Unless you let the fear overtake you and you start to obsess upon it and stuff. That's why, yeah, like literally, the only thing they can't take is your mind. They've taken your body, they just can't take your mind. It's also, this is literally going to change you as a person. I just made a video about this. People are going to start snapping because they never had to deal with this stuff before. This is their introduction. And it's going to be awful. It's going to be awful. I'm scared. I'm real scared. Because it's going to be that, like, they're not going to understand the break. Because another thing is that they're holding on to these things when none of that exists. None of it exists. None of this exists at all. We are just flesh walking the earth. This stuff we built around us, nothing. None of this is real. When it comes to the earth, the planet, none of this is just humans' little playthings, humans' little toys, humans' little buildings they made. Oh, it's so cute. It's really, and the fact, like, it's also like it's human to hold on to those things. But that's the problem. So intensely that it keeps us in a cycle of destroying ourselves. Because no one's teaching anyone how to deal with anger. No one's teaching anyone discipline. No one's teaching anyone control. It's just all simulated into our minds now. Even like people saying, oh, everyone's so narcissistic. No, they're breeding narcissism. You can breed it into people with socialization. That's what the whole internet is for. It is to breed it, to then make it seem like humans are naturally like this. Why are they so bad now? Because they were bred into it. That's why everything is getting so worse. That's why people are getting so worse. They're being bred into these systems. We're just cattle. Like I say, we're just caged animals. Caged in a system. But like a raccoon taken from the woods. No, we're a raccoon taken. A woman raccoon got took into a white room and had a baby on the floor, and now the baby lives in that white room forever. That's what humans have done to themselves. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like that's my ending statement. We are all just caged in white room raccoons. And they keep infecting us with rabies as well, just for fun. Just for fun. No, it's for studies. We need to poison the water supply. We need it. No, we need pollution to further research. We need pollution. We need to give people rabies. We need to better it, to better America. Everyone gets rabies. That's how it sounds, though, bro. It sounds like they just want to give us all rabies. See, this is the best friend thing. You talk to yourself long enough, you're gonna start making good jokes. Okay, people. The one good thing about horrific isolation is that you fully learn yourself to a disturbing degree. People hate how self-aware I am, because it shows that people can be crazy but still 100% self-aware of who they are as a person. And the only reason why people are not like that is because they have never had enough time, quiet time to themselves. That's the biggest problem. People have never had a true quiet time to themselves, so they don't understand themselves. I've had days to weeks alone. I would be under the cover. That was one of my hobbies, was to lay under the cover and daydream. Cover over my head, hand over my arm over my eyes. I'm daydreaming for about 3 hours about Supernatural. And that was a hobby. I had the time. No one was at home. The house is dark. Now to go on the covers and daydream for 3 hours. Because time didn't matter anymore. Let me think. Let's see, even like invisible hobbies that don't have to do with physical activity. People probably thought I was sleeping. Okay, let me think. I feel like there's something else I gotta say.